find some independent or third-party candidates who are worth a while. But just to start out, I am going to talk about how to start a campaign. And most of these people are already well into it, so thinking 2022 is past. It's already past 2022. I know it's 2022. It is past 2022. If you wanted to start a campaign right now, you are looking at a 2024 campaign cycle. That is your best chance. I hope everybody that's thinking third party or independent, anybody that's checking this out with the progressive tags are definitely going to be that style. I hope you look at it. Start out right now, you should be going to start out a congressional run. You want to take one of these horrible politicians who are completely corporate bought, take them on. You need money. Independents going into this need raise around $100,000 their first year, typically. That would be like 2022. You want to raise $100,000 this year while you're paying people to go out and run ads and getting on any radio you can. If you were going to run now, we're looking at a progressive 2024 election. Right now, you want to start, of course, being a community organizer, being active and involved in your community, having community names who can recognize you, and building those relationships over the next 2 years. You also want to be involved in town halls, any of those, what I just said, strikes, rallies, protests. Even if they're not people on your side, even if they're not people that you agree with every day, they might be opposite side of the spectrum. Maybe you're there to talk to them and see why they're feeling so strongly they have to protest. Maybe also tell your point of view, but be involved in as many of those actions as you can as well. So that way, those people who are politically active start to know your name in the neighborhood, in the state too, not just in the city, in the state. Any protests or rallies you can be involved in any of the major cities in your state will bump you in with other community organizers in your area, if not in just statewide. And as you build this, as you do this over your first year, get your name recognized, be part of every community output. This election cycle in October, when people are out there campaigning for themselves, bump into those people as well. Go to their town halls, go to their events, and speak to them directly. Speak to them saying, "Hey, why do you feel this way?" The person I've done the first attack on was a congressional person from North Carolina, and she was a big AIPAC funded person. She was basically funded by AIPAC, which is a super PAC and a PAC, and they hide their name and everything. And she is on the Foreign Affairs Committee with no experience. So that would be the kind of person I would attack with that. Say, hey, not attack. You want to be part of the community, but also say that I see you and I call you out. Very doable. That way, you are a part of the electoral process and at least being in their face come 2022, so that in 2023, when you decide that you're going to go for it, money, like I said, you need to raise money. So they say on the congressional website, when I was digging into that, 10,000 of yourself, 10,000 from friends and family that you want to have in that first cycle. That's 2 years, 1,000 per person, meaning that you're going to give 10 grand yourself over 2 years, and over 2 years, you want to have 5 friends that can give $1,000, friends or family that can give $1,000 each, meaning 20,000 from your own people. And then once 2023 starts, you're pushing with that money. You're going to continue to build those relationships in your community. You're going to continue to push, but you want to actually announce with the party that you're going to be running. Now, I support third parties, I support independents, but if you actually want to run with a party, you need to get their permission. You need to get thousands of signatures. You need to have people on the ground to get those signatures. So you need to have that $20,000 spoken for, not necessarily in hand, but spoken for. And then you need to be able to go out and get thousands of signatures. That is how you're going to get on their ticket. Showing money is how you're going to get on their ticket. Thousands of signatures are how you're going to get on their ticket. once you're on their ticket, you have community connections. 2023 is just going to be fundraising and doing these bumping heads with those people. So going into those community outreach programs, showing that you are part of the community and an important part, and then fundraising. Move on, Act Blue, any of these small donation sites, so that anybody that you bump into, you can hope to get the $3 to $5 contributions, because your first campaign is a $100,000 venture. Over a 2-year period, you need to put $20,000 toward from your friends and family, but you need $100,000 total, and that is the biggest step. And then if you do that in 2023, where you are truly pushing all your community groups, you're a part of as many as you can, and you have as many names as you can possibly get. 2024 will be just a continuation with the hiring of those who will be helping you on the ground. And that will be your on-ground support. As a candidate yourself, you are going to be doing the same thing: community outreach, community groups, talking to as many people as possible. But you're going to have a team in 2024 that you're paying and getting volunteers to go and hit colleges, hit campuses, hit retirement homes, hit senior groups, hit college groups, hit family groups, hit any kind of group that you can to get people talking, communicating that your volunteers are talking to 100 people a day, and that way you can put towards a strong foot towards 2024. And I am truly hoping that many independent, third party, and open-minded people will be doing this over the next few years. And these candidates that I will be going over, who are bought and paid for, can slowly just leak out of the system, and I think we would all be better for it. Going into that, let's jump on the first candidate, who is just definitely worth a chuckle here. I live in 2 areas in the country, and luckily for me, I only vote in one. No, obviously living in 2 parts of the country, I have friends in both, family in all over the country. So I will be going over the candidates who I have the most connections with. And those Christ.
At most, if not fully free. I know if it's completely free, it's harder for.
That sucked. All right, everything just crashed. So, all right, let's try this again. So I just had a nice little crash in my system. 1 second here. There we go. So, segment 1, Florida's 13th, place I currently residing in Florida. As a full disclaimer, I have to say that I am socially active on Twitter and Facebook, and being a Florida resident and being this person is my congressional representative, I did find them on Twitter and Facebook and have followed them for the past year or so. Charlie is currently running for governor, and I kind of always am for somebody who's running against DeSantis. But he has failed as a governor role. He has failed as a senator role, and a senator run, I should say. He tried to run against Marco Rubio, failed that a while back. He has failed as a run against the governor, although he won the primary. Florida does go red in the governor's seat probably 2 out of 3 elections. So as a Democrat, he didn't have a ton of a chance, but still put forward his effort. And so yes, this is my representative here in Clearwater, Florida. He represents Clearwater to all the way to St. Pete. Not a very big area here in the map you can see. This is his office number. If you have a problem with his any of his philosophies or styles, call 202-225-5961 right here, guys. He is accessible, and your representatives are always better to contact via phone. Their office definitely has to listen to all the voicemails, and they get a full representation of how people are angry by phone calls. So this is our representative here, hometown of St. Pete. Like I said, he has ran before, and here just on the government site, you can see a good amount of basic bill information and in his voting record. So if you wanna check that out, it is a good way to check him out quickly. But really, I always want to look at where's the money come from. That's how you know when these candidates are bought and paid for, is where is their money allocated from, coming from, where they go into things. And his top 100 contributors, well, it is just fantastic. The Blackstone Group, General Dynamics right here, that is a massive war contributor. Raytheon Technologies. I think when I looked at this Tampa Bay Buccaneers, well, that's not as big of a deal. But then Riser Oil right below that, Standard Industries. These are all megacorps that are not worth. Lockheed Martin, Boeing Company is actually on here twice. I'm not sure how Boeing Company got on there twice, but they are. So he is a very nicely funded industry man. And these industries the big one I see here is defense. $100,000 from defense on this electoral 2019 to 2020 money. He $100,000 from defense. That's a little much. That screams things to me, having looked through these. And he's bought and paid for. The area does have some of this money in the area. Lockheed Martin is just down the road. One of their big plants that's all protected. So he is nicely bought and paid for. Any other information you could want on here? His past elections, like I said, he had a massive influx of money in 2010 when he ran for the Senate seat and lost it. He took that excess money and he's been running successful candidates in a smaller seat since. And that is a common thing for people, is they run for a bigger seat that'll possibly get them a lot of money that they pretty much know they're going to lose. I mean, a Senate seat in Florida for a Democrat to take it would be pretty shocking. And so he went for that seat. He got a lot of money, and his cash on hand after 2010 was pretty solid. And he put together quite a few successful campaigns with that leftover money. And that's completely legal. You can run for a seat, save the money for another election. That is completely legit. And it's always fun to dig these things in for me. So this is our open secrets. It's one of my favorite pages to go to. And Ballotpedia is a nice representation of things here as well. I like digging in Ballotpedia. They used to have a lot better things over here where you could actually dig into the section here. They have his base salary, which for any Senate or congressman is going to be the same. That's not a scale thing. But they used to have net worth, and the net worth was really, really interesting stuff. I can't find salary.com anymore, and I will be digging as best I can to find this. If anybody knows the site, please drop it in the comments. But some of these representatives would always be fun, because some would say straight up, I'm worth 10 million. Others would say they're worth $5,000. It's like, how you got a $174,000 salary, your husband's worth 10 million, but you're only worth 5,000. Like, come on, that's crazy. And I'm speaking, of course, of Michigan Representative Debbie Stabenow. She is said to be worth absolutely nothing, and she is worth a ton. So I missed that from Ballotpedia, and I'm sure that was a corporate ownership or sponsorship, or possibly right here even on the top, Duke Energy, any sponsorship that got that money part of this taken off. But they do have some great information on here. Biography, one quick review. If you just want to take 15 minutes to look at a person before you vote for them, Ballotpedia is a great way to do it. And checking out these guys' vote fors. This used to be a really nice section here, guys. This is fantastic for seeing voting. I prefer to go to the actual that first site there, the office of the clerk, where you can see their voting record. That shows all bills. Ballotpedia seems, like I said, to be bought by somebody big, so they only show bills that get big hits, bills that kind of mainstream media has pushed onto us. And these aren't necessarily the bills that are a hot topic for you. Everybody has personal issues. There's personal issues that are more important than others, and don't let mainstream media tell you what is the important issue of the day. So that is Charlie Crist. He is just one fantastic militarily bought in Central California, whatever we are, the Bay, California. And he is my representative. I will definitely be voting against him if I still am here for elections. Yeah, I will be here in elections, so I will be voting against this guy. I am a 7-month resident of Florida, so I am a resident of Florida. But as I said before, my segment 2, I want to do balance here. That was a Democrat. Remember, Democrat. He was bought and paid for by lawyers, and I mean, if you want to go through those companies he is bought and paid for, it's really interesting. But he is bought and paid for by the defense industry, and this guy is considered a Democrat. Too Democrat to run the state of Florida. Too Democrat to be a senator in Florida. Now going for his second attempt at governor of Florida. He's not considered a top 2 candidate, and I wish him the best, because whatever, right? I mean, just he's a defense shill, so good for him. Segment 2, though, we're going to go in and find my other representative. The other 5 months of my year.